Hey everyone, Scott, or the Scott Man, and we are here in the Charlestown Navy Yard. We're here along the Freedom Trail, and behind us is the Uss Constitution Museum. Inside the museum, you can learn all about old Ironsides to the right, or the Uss Constitution. We'll be able to go on the ship today because it's opens up in 5 minutes. But it's open from 10 to 6 on the weekends, and then during the week it's from like 2:30 to 6. So before we do anything, we're going to go inside the museum. Maybe you come in here, you can learn more about the ship as well as the history during its time. But the ship was first constructed in 1794, and then it was completed in 1797, and since then it was involved in many different, a few different conflicts, like especially the War of 1812, where it sank 4 British ships during 3 battles, and even before that, in the first decade of the 19th century, it was even involved in the Barbary Wars over near present-day Libya, over by because 1804 was the Battle of Tripoli. But yeah, for a $5 to $10 donation, you can check out all these cool exhibits inside. I'm not going to film too much more in here. You just have to come here and check it out yourself, because why not? Up here on the top floor, you can learn more about the life of a sailor especially during like the time of the War of 1812, and it got quite a bit of interactive exhibits. Quite a lot of fun for the kids, I have to say. And here is the Uss Constitution today, and we're in a little bit of luck this time because it's currently in Dry Dock 1. This was a dry dock that was built back in the 1830s. The dry docks are useful for different ships, especially the Uss Constitution, for any types of inspections or repairs, maintenance, etc. But yeah, last was being serviced here back in the 1990s, and about 15-20 years later, here she is again. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the museum is that there even was like a not a global but a large tour that was open to people to sail the ship. Started out and did like a round trip from Boston, sailed all throughout the different coastal ports throughout the United States, even went through the Panama Canal and things like that. But anyway, so from 2015 to 2017, which is right now, the ship is here in the dry dock. So this is a great opportunity where you could see the bottom of the ship. And yeah, I apologize, I don't know the true ship terms because I'm not a sailor. But I came here on a very good weekend because it's going to be closing to the public, I think, in a matter of days, because it's going to be almost complete here at the dry dock, and it'll sail over to Pier 2, and then by the fall, it'll go back to Pier 1, where it'll be on display on the water for people to come back on. So I came here on a very good day because I can still board the ship. Alright, and here's a slightly better view of the ship. Oh yeah, and one little tip, don't line up when it first opens, because especially today, there are quite a little bit of a line to come in here. So I recommend checking out the museum first and then coming in, because I had a lot shorter line. Because the line is mainly just to go through like a little bit of a security checkpoint. It's almost like a security checkpoint at an airport. You don't have to take your shoes or belt off or anything. But you also need a photo ID with you too.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, One cool thing about the shipyard, yeah, is that you can even see some U.S. Navy personnel here too, and they can even give you some history about the ship and the Navy Yard. So let's go board the ship. So yep, we're officially on the deck. Yes, I know some sailor terms, but yeah, we're on the deck of the Uss Constitution, the same ship which fought in the Battle of Tripoli back in 1804, and also fought during the War of 1812 and sank 4 British ships, as I said earlier. Yeah, this is really cool. And if you look at over here, that's the USS Castaignon. It was primarily used from 1943 to 1960, and unlike the USS Constitution, that ship over there fought in World War II over in the Pacific Ocean. It mainly was over in the area near like Okinawa and Iwo Jima, and even survived some of the Japanese kamikaze attacks. But today you can see it sitting proudly here in Boston Harbor, and also, or you can say the Charlestown Navy Yard. Gotta watch my step there. But yeah, from 1800 to 1974, the Charlestown Navy Yard worked on many ships here, including the USS Constitution. However, it's pretty much, yeah, as I was saying, it's pretty much stopped doing that in 1974. But yeah, we're down here in the first level underneath the deck, and look at these windows you can look out of. Yeah, I do apologize. Take a little bit of time to adjust the light. Yeah, I can't go in here, but man, it's really interesting. Yeah, go over this side, you can even look out toward downtown Boston. And I don't want to stick my arm out too far, but you can see a little bit of in the inner part of the dry dock. Chances are, if you come here or come to the USS Constitution, by the time you see this video, you're probably not going to be in the dry dock, unless you're watching this video maybe 20 years from now, when it comes back to the dry dock.
Sails back to her masts, and we will actually take her out and sail. Now there's one other commissioned warship that is older than us.
Yeah, I didn't want to get the whole thing because it probably would have been a very lengthy video segment, but yeah, that U.S. Navy sailor gave a pretty good history presentation about the beginnings of the USS Constitution and how it's basically the largest and oldest commissioned ship. But yeah, a lot of great history on this ship, I have to say. But before we close up the video, I'll get back on this side of the camera. We're gonna get off the ship and we'll get to see what you normally don't get to see when it's not in the dry dock. But yeah, if you look at those holes over there, like we saw them from the inside, that's where they used to point all the different guns on the ship as it went into the Mediterranean during the war in like the first decade of the 19th century, like the Battle of Tripoli, and also during the War of 1812. And you can even see the very bottom of the ship too. We'll zoom in. But yeah, this is part of the ship you don't get to see when it's not in the dry dock. And then you can see more of the dry dock over there too. But yeah, it's really, really amazing. Yeah, come over here, you can see a little bit more of its beauty too. Just outside of the exit. But yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, during the week, during the warmer months, it is closed on Mondays. So please keep that in mind when visiting the city of Boston. And the ship itself is absolutely free to enter. The museum is just a $5 to $10 donation. I've already mentioned that earlier in the video. But yeah, definitely check out the museum as well while you're here visiting the Charlestown Navy Yard. I'll have to say, it was really cool checking out Old Ironsides. That's the nickname of the USS Constitution. But yeah, it's really cool to think that one of the oldest ships, major ships, that was built here in Boston is still standing today, and after it's done being redone, well, not redone, but repaired and all of its different inspections, things like that, it'll be back in the water again. So, but when visiting Boston and the historic Freedom Trail, definitely check out the Uss Constitution. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a like or a thumbs up. For more Skyway 995 travel videos, definitely click that subscribe button. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At the end of every video, links to my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Well, thank you for watching today's video here at the Uss Constitution Museum, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.